Welcome, everybody. This is Sylvia from the UnHamsterwheeled podcast. Today, my guests are Magda and Alex, our very good Polish friends who moved here to Madeira because they wanted to join our project, A Place to Be. And that's been like 2 months now, more or less, right?
Almost 3, yes.
3
Hello.
months already. Great. And that's what we're going to talk about. We want everyone to get to know you a bit better, how we met, what kind of lifestyle you had before we met, and because you've jumped off the hamster wheel of life a while ago, a few years ago. So let's start with that. Like, you have this interesting story that you started, traveling around with a camper van. When was that, and why, and how? And just tell us.
We were living in England for about 20 years where we worked. I worked as an English teacher in one of London colleges for about 12, 13 years. And Alex will tell about his jobs in a moment. But I wasn't really happy with the system that I was trained to be part of. And that was around the time when our second son was born. And I realized that I'm putting all my time, my effort, my money into something that I'm not really happy with, e.g., other people taking care of my children, spending a lot of time being a part of a system that I didn't agree with. So eventually I quit my job and became a full-time stay-at-home mom, taking care of our younger one. And later we've decided that we are still kind of slaves of the system and we can't really do what we wanted to do with our family, which was traveling, because it was all very restricted by school that our older son used to go to. So we could only travel when it was half term. It was difficult to get out of the UK during the holiday times. Obviously, it was very expensive and it was very restricted in terms of taking kids out of school without being punished for that.
Yeah, pay fines.
Yeah, you had to pay fines for taking kids out of the normal term during the term. And around that time, we also bought a motorhome because we wanted to explore first the island. And then we've realized that this is a great opportunity to spend time together, to explore the world and have fun together, really.
Mm-hmm. Where did you go? What was your route?
So first we traveled around the UK, and then once we moved out, we kind of decided that we are going to do it full time. So for almost a year, we traveled around Europe. So because we're originally from Poland, we've decided that that Poland is going to be our temporary base. And from there, we traveled to Austria, Italy, Croatia, France, where else we went? Belgium, Luxembourg, yes, visiting all the friends around.
Home in Luxembourg.
Yeah, we lost the motorhome in Luxembourg, yes, when it was driven into by a drunk driver.
Oh,
yeah. And what else? We wanted, our destination was Portugal, but along the way we kind of realized that our children are really keen on learning to ski, and we spent more than 2 months in the Dolomites learning to ski, practicing, and
camping in the winter.
It was really cold, but very nice.
Amazing. So how many countries in total? Do you have a number?
We had to check
we've got a little sticker map at the back of our motorhome where once we visited the country, there was a sticker on, but well, yeah, it's going to be around 10 or more. I don't really have a tally of all the countries. We've visited multiple countries many times. So we were going back and forward. And
Okay. How long did you stay in one place?
the longest was 2 months in Italy, skiing, living on a campsite that was very close to the slope. So basically, it was an early morning, putting our skiing gear, going on the slopes, and coming back in the evening. To greet our cat that was waiting for us patiently in the motorhome.
Right, traveling with you. And she came with you here too.
Yes, our cat Matilda has traveled with us to all the countries. She had multiple adventures as well,
Yes,
fighting.
2 weeks on a sailboat.
Yes, she nearly drowned.
Wow.
She was nearly killed by another cat. I mean, she's lost a bit of her ear, fighting and protecting the territory underneath the camper van.
Wow.
She was on the plane with me coming here to Madeira. So she's very adventurous and well-traveled as well.
She's got lots to tell. She should be on this call as well. And which place did you like best?
Oh,
It's hard to decide because I really loved skiing. I mean, I was really surprised that I would enjoy the low temperatures and so much snow for such a long time, but it was amazing to be outside almost all day in temperatures minus temperatures. But also I really enjoyed Italy and France. I love seas, I love ocean, I love water, I love being close to water. So that was really cool as well. And also, you know, when you're in a motorhome, it gives you so much freedom to decide where you want to stay, where you want to go. You can decide on a whim. You can plan, but we've noticed that even though you have a plan, it changes. You just have to play by the ear, really. Well, I can't really decide on one favorite country.
But you enjoyed the whole trip, or was there something that, like, why did you stop? Was it like, I'm sick of this? Was there something that you didn't enjoy, or was it just time? You know, I've done this, it's been good, but now I want to do something else. What was that moment when you decided?
Okay, I gave him a look. Well, it was, for me, it was always an adventure. It wasn't set in stone that we will be doing it forever. My kind of time scale was a year. It had its pros and cons. Yes, it's a big motorhome, but we've got, for a 4-member family, it can be a bit small when the weather is not that good to be outside all the time. Also, the boys are very energetic, so it can be difficult sometimes to find your own space and to find privacy. But sometimes it's just a matter of opening the door and then the whole piece comes in from the outside world. We've decided we were actually planning on other moves when we came back from the trip, and then your documentary happened.
Where did you find it? How did you come across it?
I think I've heard that from Alex.
Yeah, I must have seen it somewhere because I've been following the Free Madeira project and whatever's been happening here, because that was the closest country in my vicinity that was more sort of Bitcoin orientated. And then somehow through that, I saw your project and thought this is something that we might be interested in doing. So then, we've set up to meet with Rob in Riga, and things took really quickly from then.
Yes.
Yeah, it was. I was thinking of a place, of a next destination where we could go, and to be honest, I wouldn't have come up with Madeira. Just there had to be some factors contributing to the decision. For me, it would have to be something warmer than the Dolomites, close to the sea, close to water, English-speaking communities. other families, so our children could socialize as well. Bitcoin community was a huge bonus as well. And I have to tell you that it wasn't, when I first saw your documentary, it wasn't straight away that I decided, yes, this is what we want to do. But that when the seed was planted, it was the second time when I watched your documentary, I said, yes, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's contact them and let's tell them that we are available and that we want to be part of it.
Yeah, I remember our call and it was very pleasant and
yes.
Amazing. And then it went super quick. You came over, stayed for a week, more or less, the two of you.
Yeah.
You were so kind to host us. We fell in love with Madeira instantly. It ticked all the boxes, really.
Yeah, Madeira is a great place. And for me as well, I mean, I like you both. I did from the beginning through the video, then when we met you here. But another thing was that our daughter, especially Bo, she immediately took to you, and she doesn't do that with many people. It's very, very rare that she is so open and sociable with people, and she had that with you right from the beginning. And for me, that's a very big kind of proof that you're the right people. And we're very close now. We live.
The good energy was from the start, and then I could tell that yes, it's going on very well.
Yeah, we live not far from each other. We see each other very often. We go to the parks and we tried BJJ together, Magda.
Yes, ouch.
It took
I
me
suffered after that last session. Yeah,
not for everyone. But what we do together, that's the right thing, and that's what matters. And now we're moving forward with this project. So we're working closely together, and just to update the people, really, as you've heard, we're both Bitcoin families. There's another Bitcoin family involved in this as the founding members. We're going to get a Bitcoin loan via Debify to make this happen, to start it. From then, we're going to move forward to preparing the land, get ready for the Bitcoin conference 1st till 3rd of March, where we'll be present. We'll have our little booth. I'll be on stage, and we'll also be involved in the kids area. And if anybody else listens to this before the conference, you can get involved as well if you're a part of the alternative education community, because we need some volunteers to help out either at our booth or with the kids, play some games, do some crafting. We'll have, what else are we going to have there? The musical instrument.
Music corner with electric drums, keyboards, art corner with some pebble paintings, maybe Lego corner. What else did we talk about? Our youngest son is very into freestyle cycling. Is that what it's called?
I think, yeah.
Yes, so we would like to build a pump track as well, if that allows.
That might happen on the land itself.
Yeah. Loads of ideas, and I'm sure we'll come up with more until then.
Yes, it's just gonna be like, and even after that, so many possibilities, so many new people that we'll meet. And then, Alex, you'll be in charge as the builder, inventor, and Bitcoin miner, because you've got lots of experience in all these fields. Please tell us a bit about your ideas, what's going to be happening at A Place to Be.
With regards to Bitcoin mining, or
all of this, like building your inventions, Bitcoin mining.
Got a lot of ideas. The newest one was to organize some sort of means of power generation on site, because we'll need electricity, and before we can get hooked up to the mains network, we possibly could purchase an shipping container with some generator inside, which is fueled by all the bushes and everything that we'll have to clear from the land anyway. So we can gasify it and turn it into electricity, and then turn it into Bitcoin. if we don't need the electricity for anything else. But yeah, that's for starters. We want to incorporate some Bitcoin miners for the heat generation for the domes where we would be living in. So just like underfloor heating powered by miners. So yeah, we need electricity. That's for sure. And yeah, that's what we are planning to do.
Yeah. And any other ideas you had building something? Or, I mean, you know, we're going to be building the domes and everything together, the infrastructure. Lots of people are going to be helping you, but you'll be leading this project in the building side. But like, you have all these amazing ideas, you know, you have this inventor brain, a lot of knowledge and experience.
From one place to another.
Yeah, we've got a big tank of water on the property, and I'm trying to figure out the way how can we use this water to again generate electricity. We'll have to have a look into that, but that's a possibility. Just to move the water down and back up again and generate electricity along the way. So yeah, whatever we can come up with.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll encounter lots of problems, and you'll have great ideas for solutions. And yeah, the other people who'll be helping as well. But is that what you're most passionate about? Is it Bitcoin and playing around with something around that, or what's your main passion in life at the moment?
Yes, I mean, judging by the amount of time I'm spending on educating myself on Bitcoin and reading about it, that can be called my passion. Yes, I've spent countless hours educating myself. Still don't know everything, but yes, it's something that takes a lot of my time. And I'm lucky enough to be able to afford that, so I don't have to go to work anymore. But that's only because I've done the work and educated myself.
Early now.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, you both, right? Because Magda, you were the first woman writing about Bitcoin online.
Yeah, that was well, first in Polish.
Yes.
Yeah, I used to write a blog, Bitcoin Mama, back in 2014, 15 that was, and it was mainly because I found it difficult to get to my Polish friends and my sister, my parents, to get them to read a bit, to learn a bit about Bitcoin. They were very skeptical about that. So yes, that's how I I thought that would be a good source of knowledge for them. Yeah, that was my little adventure.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it was a completely different world a decade ago, and not that much information.
No, I probably watched all the. I wanted to educate myself on Bitcoin, and there was not much in Polish, so I've decided to write about Bitcoin in Polish. But yes, I think I watched that back then. I watched all possible videos on YouTube. I reached on Twitter to find other women. I was very much impressed by, I'm not sure if you're familiar with Pua Highland, the Bitcoin wife.
I don't know.
Yes, I think she was a pioneer in the Bitcoin world for women. Also, I organized with Rianne Lewis Bitcoin GNO, Girls Night Out in London. So yeah, that was the early, very early steps.
Okay. I want to ask both of you, but I'm going to start with Alex. What do you see yourself doing at a place to be once it's all set, you know, after March? Let's say once the domes, even the domes have been set up and the kids area and So, you know, you're not building every day anymore. You can use your time like now as you wish.
It will take a while before we get to this stage.
Yes.
When there is not much building going on, but then I'm sure there'll be loads of stuff that needs fixing, improving, and just generally maintaining to have it up and running. But I'm sure there will be projects coming up, probably involving kids and just getting them to try to figure out how do we, I don't know, measure the water content in soil to water our avocados or whatever will be grown there. So yeah, we'll probably be doing stuff like that.
Yeah.
With the kids.
So for you, it's more, you know, things that need to be done, and you'll involve the kids.
Yeah, because the kids, if they're interested, they can spend hours tinkering with stuff, and if I can just provide them with some tools like, I don't know, Arduinos and Raspberry Pis and different sensors and stuff, and teach them how you can operate what with what, and yeah, they'll definitely be interested and happy to play around, and you know, you learn best when you play.
Yeah, that's true. That sounds great.
Yeah,
that's really good. Just doing what you like, involving the ones who are interested, making it fun, and yeah, free to decide. Really cool. And Magda, what do you see yourself doing at a place to be something that you're passionate about?
I would like to contribute to the self-directed learning, to be the support and guidance. We did together, you and I, we did the course on self-directed learning and facilitating learning. So I would like definitely use the knowledge that we've learned there. This is also a new thing for me because I need to unschool myself, being formally trained as a teacher in the old system. So I can see myself doing that, but also I'm really passionate about art, and this is how I see myself as well, getting kids involved in all the arts and crafts projects. I love animals, so my dream is to have a little farm there. Yeah, growing food, baking sourdough bread, yes, and just trying to be self-sufficient as much as possible.
That sounds exactly what I would do. It's like at the moment, there's so much work, there's so many things that need to be done to get this project started, but they're not my passion. I'm not talented about them, or I don't have any experience, or I just don't like them, but they need to be done. And then yeah, I'm doing just a fraction of what I really love doing. But then once it's all set, and we'll probably get some more people who'll be experts in their fields who will take over all of these different areas. And then I can also, you know, when I was a kid, I said to myself, I will never work in an office at a computer. Like, that's just boring. I don't want to do that. I want to do something fun, you know, active maybe. And I always liked languages. And then I was put into categories, like, inevitably. So for me, it was the only thing I was good at was languages and sports. So that's what I did. And then later, when I was, you know, working as a personal trainer in a gym, it was okay. I thought it was like a dream, working as a personal trainer, and it's so flexible and cool, but it wasn't really. So I started thinking about what would I really enjoy doing. And I thought, I think at a hotel, at the reception, you know, you meet people who are on holiday, they're happy, you give a good service. Yeah, I can speak the languages and I can make them feel welcome and at home. But then I thought, but it would be like 8 hours a day and sometimes night shifts. And I did like the flexibility of working like 2 hours here and 3 hours in the afternoon. So I didn't go down that way, but this now would include it. You know, I could do my jiu-jitsu and maybe some workouts with the people there. I'd be welcoming the guests, showing them their dome, and yeah, it would be like everything would be coming together. After
I can totally resonate with the 9 to 5 work. That was something that I never imagined myself doing as well. And even working at college, you would never find me sitting at the desk. I would always be around the classroom and trying different methods, experimenting, even putting adult students, because I used to teach adults, on cushions on the floor and trying out new things, playing music, lighting up candles. And it worked really well. However, I was still restricted by the curriculum, by success rate, and everything that I had to report back to with regards to their exams. And that was really what contributed to my decision that I don't want to be part of this system. So the classroom in the jungle under the avocado tree is my dream.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's how we used to live and learn. You know, there were no classrooms, there were no houses. I mean, the way we developed as human beings, like hundreds of thousands, and maybe even millions of years ago, was all just being outside in nature and copying others and trying out. And there wasn't anybody telling us off or punishing us for making a mistake. It was really
and it wasn't
learning by
also
doing.
that time restricted from a bell to bell. I remember as
Yeah.
a kid, I really enjoyed art classes, and they were always too short, and they would be only once a week. So at the time that I was just starting with, my creativity, there was, the end of the class, and you had to move on to physics or chemistry or maths, and like you have to shift your mind. Yeah. And yeah, that was something that I was really, and also all these creative subjects were regarded as the secondary ones. So yeah, you had to know your physics, you had to know your maths, and like that they were those more important classes, which I couldn't understand why.
Yeah, it's just and I don't understand how they can put this structure on every single person in the system, that they think everybody's the same and this is important for you and this is not important for you, whereas every person is different. It doesn't go into my mind that people don't question this. Like people, I mean, there are people who question it, but most of the people in the system, they just follow it, and they might see like a little flaw in there, but they think it has to be this way. There's just no other way. It's just the way it is.
I mean, when you look at those poor little kids in England, they start at the age of 5. They come with all their curiosity, with all their creativity, and they are put in their uniforms with those the book bags that are almost the size of their bodies. So they can already get used to the system, and you only are. So you can only express yourself when you're allowed to express yourself. So you do as you're told, and you don't question, this is what I'm telling you, and that's the only truth.
Yeah, like crush their talents, their dreams, their passions. It's just, oh no, that doesn't matter. What you want doesn't matter. Just this matters. So then you can be a good person in the world.
And they all come out as just little copies of the same thing.
Yeah, sad. I talked to a friend of mine the other day, someone from BJJ. Oh my God, he told me the saddest story. He said he lived in Lisbon for a few years with his wife and their two, when their kids were really young. And he said they moved here and it's so much better and they have so much time now. And I said, so what time do they go to school? And he said, yeah, it's like 9 till 5 here. And I was like, what? Like, that doesn't seem like so much time together. But he said when they were tiny in Lisbon, because of the commuting, his job, and they had to trip like for 25 kilometers, it took him like 2 hours sometimes. they dropped the kids off at 7 a.m. and they picked them up at 7:30 p.m. Then they fed them, they washed them, they put them to bed. And like, just imagine that your children spend more time with other people than with yourself. They spend like an hour with you awake.
And then you're surprised why you haven't got a connection with your kids.
Yes. Completely broken and lost. And the time you spend with them is like, get up, hurry, eat this, do that, quick.
Also the pressure, as I look at my niece and nephew who are in their late teens now, the amount of time they spend doing their homework, learning so many different subjects. I mean, I think, as a teacher, I know there is a certain amount of information you can absorb. And then whatever you do is just not coming into your brain at all. So I'm surprised. I mean, I remember myself when I went to uni, when I was in high school, how much time I had to spend memorizing stuff that I don't really remember. I didn't remember, let's say, 2 or 3 weeks later. So that's, there's nothing good when the knowledge is forced.
Yeah, it's when it's forced. Like, we are able to absorb a lot of things if we're interested in, if it's fun, like you said, Alex. But if it's forced, it's so hard. And I think like 99% of the people who went to school, I would say, can relate to this. Some might have been better at memorizing, but I still believe they forgot about it just, a bit later. And that's just not what we want for our kids.
No. So another aspect of formal schooling is something that is regarded cheating, which is collaborating with other people. Like that, you're expected to do all the work, the whole work on your own at school, and then you leave school and you're expected to collaborate with other people. But how can you know how to do it if all your life almost you had to rely on yourself? And if you worked with someone, if you helped someone, that was cheating and that was bad.
Yeah, up until the day you left school, it was all competition, and don't help, don't collaborate.
No.
Alex, what was your school experience like? I heard some.
Yeah, I was lucky with my school experiences that they were very broad, let's say. And I've been in many different schools. I've started with music school, like primary music school. Then I went to I passed the exams to get to the secondary, where I've decided I'm not willing to go every Friday to Philharmonics, because that was one of the conditions to pass, to get grades from one of the subjects that I was like 25 times over the school term in a Philharmonics. That was at the time when all my friends started going out and stuff. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go to a normal school. So I went to a normal school, but because of the music school before, I was definitely lacking in some of the normal subjects, like I don't know, maths or stuff like that. Because in the music school, always the pressure was on the music subjects, and you didn't. If you weren't the best at the others, they said, "Okay, we'll let you through anyway." So I've been to a few more schools in my career. And basically, what I've learned that depending on which school I'm in and what teachers I meet, in one school they said, "Oh, I'm a brilliant, like, science orientated, and I'm very good with maths and physics, for example, because I've just happened to meet a good teacher that managed to teach me that." Then in the other school, they said, "Oh no, you're brilliant with history and stuff." But that was only because I've met a good history teacher who could just get my interest, and I was like interested and I wanted to learn, and I've learned. So then I've left the whole school system, and luckily I didn't lose my my curiosity and willingness to learn new stuff, and that led me eventually to Bitcoin because I was still curious. I wanted to learn about it, and yeah, it was good. So if I've spent my life in like 2 or 3 different schools over the whole period, I would be dependent on whatever teacher I met in these particular schools. I could maybe not find out that I'm really good at some other stuff that I just didn't meet the right teacher to teach me about it. So yeah, I'm still learning. I love learning, and it didn't kill my curiosity.
That is good. That's important. Yeah, you mentioned just a whole another issue that it all depends on the teachers and how they treat children,
It's
how
a
they
lottery,
are.
basically. You meet a good teacher in particular subject, you can be very good at it. But if you don't meet that teacher, then you never know throughout your life that you were actually very good at this stuff, not all the other stuff that they taught you.
And usually you're labeled that you are not good at something, which completely kills your self-esteem.
Yeah.
And then you give up on, oh no, I'm not going to be good at this. So
Yeah, you believe them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, so that's why we're going to make it differently and create a place to be. And I'm very happy that we're doing this together and looking forward to, spending more time with you and on that piece of land, digging, getting dirty, enjoying ourselves.
It will be a lot of work, that's for sure.
Yeah.
We're prepared for that.
Rewarding work.
Yes.
It'll be fun and it'll be worth it. Just work.
And it will be cool to get our kids involved in hard work as well, because it may seem that it's a bed of roses, not going to school, and our children sometimes complain about how rubbish it is to be so bored sometimes because they don't really necessarily have much to compare to. But yes, but that's the fact that they don't go to school helps them with being very self-directed. Our older son, also Alex Jr., who's 12, he's very curious about everything, really. And he's able to teach himself whatever he sets his heart on. From coding to tinkering.
Yeah, we didn't have that opportunity when we were kids because there was no internet. You couldn't just go onto YouTube and figure out how do you fly a plane.
And also, in my case, there was so much pressure on getting good grades at school that everything else was not important. Just getting good grades at school, bringing, good grades home. So the parents are happy with that.
Yeah,
unfortunately.
Lots of pressure and expectations.
Yes,
that's right. Okay, so I think the people have been able to get to know you a little bit better, and I'm sure they all want to meet you now and want to sign up. If you want to do so, visit placetobe.me. You can find social media there, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, everything. And if you want to know more, you can also send an email to info@aplacetobe.me. We're available. If you're in Madeira, please reach out. We're happy to meet you in the park with the kids. The kids can play, we can chat. And if you have any questions, we're here. So thank you everyone for listening. Thank you, Magda. Thank you, Alex.
Thank you for having us. It was a pleasure.
Yeah, I'll probably see you later.
I'll see you later.
I see the others here on the podcast. Thanks for listening, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.